What up, it's Dane here. In this video, I'm going to be telling you the top 4 intermittent fasting mistakes that people are making every single day. So let's get straight into this. Mistake number 1 when people are doing intermittent fasting and first starting out is this. They're obsessed way too much over the time, and I used to do this myself. I get back home like, oh shit, 5 more minutes until I can eat. It really doesn't matter. It just ends up being the calories at the end of the day. Tip number 2 is eating way too much junk food. Just because you're fasting for 16 hours does not mean your body uses fat for energy, which means you can eat a 10,000 calorie challenge after, let's say, 6 o'clock or after a 16-hour fast. And number 3 is expecting intermittent fasting to be this magical snowflake of a diet. It's just like any other diet. And make sure when you do intermittent fasting that you do not spike your insulin, so don't eat any protein or any carbohydrates in your intermittent fasting window. I'm telling you, man, once you spike your insulin levels, you will gain more fat. By the way, that was all bullshit. Basically, there is no best diet. Spiking your insulin will not cause you to gain more fat. In fact, insulin is a satiety hormone, but I won't get into that. I've already got a video on that already. So that's mistake number 4. Just kidding, it's mistake number 3, man. I knew it all along. And mistake number 4 is people are obsessing way too much over drinking BCAA'S, which is obviously branched chain amino acids, in order to preserve the muscle mass while we're still in that fasted state, especially if you work out in the morning. Now, one thing I have to mention, the research is very unclear on BCAA'S preserving muscle mass while fasting. So in my opinion, I think it's a waste of money, so I highly don't recommend it. Just concentrate on your total daily protein intake. And if you're really worried about losing muscle mass when you do intermittent fasting, if you don't have anything for, let's say, 14 hours and you work that way in the morning, just make sure to have protein immediate post-workout, right? Because if you don't have any protein pre-workout, it gets more important post-workout, so keep that in mind. And that links me into, let's call it mistake number 4 as always, that people are obsessed, or could be called mistake number 5, whatever. People are obsessed way too much over, should I work out in the morning, should I work out in the night, like meal timing, meal frequency, what's going on. What really counts is the amount of calories you consume per day, and how sustainable is it for you. If you work out in the morning, do you have a lot of energy? If you work out at night just before you break that fast, do you still have a lot of energy? Can you still do it? Can you still perform well? It all just comes down to sustainability and adherence. Yes, meal frequency, or should I say meal timing instead, becomes a little bit more important because you're not eating anything for a long period of time. Hence why you should probably have quite a big amount of protein post-workout, or a large amount, whatever. So anyway, those are the 4+1 mistakes of intermittent fasting that a lot of people make. And again, I'm going to say this again, intermittent fasting is not like a special diet that people think that your body runs on fuel throughout the day because you're not consuming any food. This is not the case, right? I don't understand even the logic behind this, because it's all about the calories in versus the calories out. If you want to lose fat, eat in a calorie deficit. If you want to gain muscle, eat in a calorie surplus. We all know less calories means less protein synthesis, hence why it increases the likelihood of us losing muscle mass on a diet. So most people do intermittent fasting to lose fat, right? So when you do this intermittent fasting thing and you're eating fewer calories, then you're most likely gonna lose muscle mass. But again, the best way, like I say in all of my videos, is just to keep your protein intake relatively high. Obviously weight train, because weight training increases your protein synthesis as well. You need a good amount of protein, like I just said, and that's about it. Remember, the bigger or the larger calorie deficit, the more likely you're gonna lose more muscle mass, because like I just said, less calories equals less protein synthesis equals lower muscle protein synthesis rates throughout the day. So keep that in mind. Repeat myself there, but I had to add that. Less muscle protein synthesis, or resting muscle protein synthesis throughout the day. Man, I'm talking a lot. So anyway, those are the top 4+1 mistakes. If you enjoyed the video, let me know. Make sure to watch my video on insulin and bodybuilding, and people thinking that spiking your insulin is going to lead to fat gain, which God knows why people think that, because insulin is a satiety hormone anyway. I don't know. Let's just end it here. Stay positive, stay smiling, and I'll see you in the next one.
No, there ain't no stopping us.